I want him to direct Spider-Man 4, but I don't want him to direct Spider-Man 4.
Spider-Man 4, not Tobey's Spider-Man 4, but Tom's Spider-Man 4 is reportedly set to begin filming late September 2024. Kind of wild to think after all of these huge rumors and Sony Marvel not knowing what they want to do with the movie. Um that it's gonna start filming in like 5 months. But a lot could happen and be developed in 5 months, so I got some hope for it. This is a side note. Also, I did see a tweet. I forgot exactly who the source was from. It wasn't RPK, but I did see somewhere that they said Sam, and not April Fools, that like legit was like 2 days ago, that Sam Raimi is potentially in talks to direct Spider-Man 4. That would be cool to see him having not obviously Toby one, but him to finally get A4. And this movie could fill in a lot of the ideas that he had for his original Spider-Man 4 for Toby. So I'd be okay with it.
Man, I have mixed thoughts on that. If it's Sam Raimi, I'm very used to John Watt's style. I think Tom has a very certain presence. I mean, Sam Raimi was attached to Secret Wars. Is he really going to go through and do Spider-Man 4 and then a couple Avengers level movies?
Whoa. But if they want Sony, or if Sony and Marvel, how they want to kind of have Spider-Man lead like Avengers and Secret Wars, it would be kind of good if they had Raimi do both and really make him shine for both movies he directs.
Symbiotic redemption, maybe?
I looked it up really quick. It's a valid rumor. I don't want it. and it's not that I don't want him. I want him to direct Spider-Man 4. But I don't want him to direct Spider-Man 4. You know what I mean? I want him to direct an actual Sam Raimi style Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I don't want him to do it Tom Holland. Not because I don't think he couldn't do good. I feel like he could. He would probably crush it, honestly, because I do feel like he understands the character of Spider-Man. I just don't want him for that one.
That's fair. Interestingly enough, and this is why you come to the Point 3 podcast for your news. Remember, this is on and rumor, spoiler-ish, potential warning. The hard part is who's going to be the villain, right? If this is grounded and this is more Spider-Man focused and we get less Peter Parker, which I think Sam Raimi did a pretty good job of making a good Peter Parker, and we're going to get some Kingpin action in this. I don't know. Born Again is filming / done / getting towards the end, whatever. Spider-Man 4 is going to be filming in a few months. 2025 is going to be what it's going to be for the MCU after Fantastic Four. But I'm nervous about this movie. And I am nervous about them pushing Spider-Man to the forefront and making his character feel bigger than the Avengers as a whole. If Spider-Man is the leader of the Avengers, I don't love it simply because Sony, is Sony, but I want him to be kind of like that gold Power Ranger, man, the guy that just comes in and he just does his thing. He's the best, he's the best, but he's not the team leader. Someone else needs to be the Red Ranger. Let Spider-Man be the Gold Ranger and just kind of move on from there. I don't know what that really has to do with the movie, but
yeah,
no one knows what Spider-Man 4 is going to be, given what happened in No Way Home. Like, it's kind of a whole fresh take on the character, And given all of the changes throughout the MCU, very valid to have those concerns. As one who has a Spider-Man tattoo, can only be hopeful for it, and would love to see my boy lead the Avengers. Not like Tony or like Iron Man lead them, but at this point, he's one of the most experienced ones with working in teams and stuff. So I'd be okay with him having like a little fill-in, but not like fill-in lead, but not obviously like a lead.
I don't want him to lead at all, and I honestly don't even want him as a part of the Avengers like full time. Mainly because I think it limits what they can do, in the sense that obviously you can have your crossover still even if he is an Avenger, but if he's just Spider-Man, he
Yeah.
can be in Fantastic Four. He can be in
Yeah, let him roam.
Daredevil. He can be in all these other things. If he's an Avenger, he won't because he's stuck.
Yeah.
He's too top tier to now go below, if that makes sense.
It would be cool if like I still think it would be cool and smart for Marvel Studios to in this movie have Aman Vellani's Kamala Khan approach him and be like, "Hey, do you want to join the Young Avengers?" And he's like, "No." And then to have like Reed Richards or somebody like or him get a note from the Baxter Building sign and be like, "Hey, we want you to join the Future Foundation," or something along those lines, and be like, "I can't." But that's the one the route he does go. Or like Sam to show up and be like, "Hey, do you want to do it?" Val to be like, "Hey, do you want to be a Thunderbolt?" Like he's the most sought after free agent, but
Yeah.
he's just bigger than everyone else. And he's like, "No, I am the guy in a way." And I hope he plays into that more when we eventually get the symbiote, because there needs to be that character shift of I am that lone wolf solo kind of guy. Nobody can touch me. So when he is Black Suit Spider-Man or Symbiote Spider-Man, it's going to be so much more organic, in my opinion, for him to deny the rest of the MCU teams that would approach him. Just a loner. That's it.
Good point. And then also it'll really let the conflict of the symbiote grow within the MCU, right? Because if he's actively like interacting with all these other teams, they'll get to know him personally.
Yep.
And then when he gets the black suit and he changes completely, and they're like, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
And then he does something that does become a problem, and everybody's like, okay, we need to step in. And that way, if he keeps it for more than one movie, if, for example, Reed comes in Spider-Man 5 and he's like, dude, you need to get that off.
Yep.
You need that suit off now. And then he's like, no, fight me. Yep. It'll feel so cool.
Yeah. And it's totally believable that there could be a cameo of the Fantastic Four, and it's Spider-Man versus Thing, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, and Sue. That's wild. And the only other person I'll add to this, and I think that would be a good fit for Spider-Man to interact with in Spider-Man 4, tease the Fantastic Four, but let him spend the ever so slightest amount of time with Daredevil. Because again, people don't know who he is. He's trying to find himself. The insight that Daredevil and the conversations and the dialogue that they could have together of who is Spider-Man, who better than to deliver that than Matt Murdock? I can see through all the BS. You know what I mean? That would be Fantastic Four and Daredevil, I think, are the way to go for Spider-Man, not the Avengers.
Yeah. Agreed. Or we can just do what Dylan said, let Madam Web lead the Avengers. I think that's a good idea.
I'm a head out.
Wild. Dill, good comment here following up. Is it possible we get a Peter Parker, Johnny Storm live action friendship finally? Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that is money. You talk about going back to the root, to the source.
I would
think so.
Joseph and Tom interact.
Hype.
That would be awesome.
Hype.
I'd love it.
Easy cameo there. I think it'd be cool. But the cool thing that they can do from that standpoint is build out Johnny Storm a little bit, who's not, in his flame on state, but also Peter Parker. Maybe Johnny knows his identity, maybe he doesn't. And if he does, that could be something they could point towards Reed. Whatever. You could do something really, really cool with that. I like that a lot.
I just want to see a future Foundation white black suit in this next trilogy so bad.
If Marvel Studios is good at anything, it's quickly adopting something that some other platform did. Shout out to your favorite Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man.
I have a very crazy outside bet that we will probably see a superior suit before we see a future Foundation suit.
Ooh,
What? In the MCU?
really?
Yeah.
Dog, we're never going to see superior in the MCU.
I have.
I mean,
I don't know
we
why.
do have.
I would
They
love
did
it.
kind of hint with the red and black in Far From Home.
You have it. You have the presidents of the Iron Spider legs because they're not the traditional Iron Spider legs. You still got. Is it 4? Yeah, you still got 4.
Marvel
So-
doesn't care about us enough.
I'm not saying
think
that
they
Doc
would
Ock
do
is
it.
going to take over Peter. I
Yeah,
don't think that's going to
You're just
happen.
saying just he'll get,
It
like,
should. It's the
similar suit.
multiverse.
It should, but that's my thing. I feel like we'll get a cameo of a superior Spider-Man suit before we get a future Foundation.
I would be fine with that.
Superior, maybe in the no. Don't do it in the Sony Spider-Man because it would be bad. No, don't want it.
Okay, let me throw this out here for Spider-Man 4 real quick while we're kind of mulling this over, because I feel like this is the first time on like our road to Spidey 4 that we've really like talked about this on a live stream. Would you guys be fine if they ultimately brought in Venomverse characters, mainly Tom Hardy's Venom, fully into the MCU, not just some garbage bar scene that went kind of nowhere to this point?
I'd be okay with Tom Hardy's Venom and only Tom Hardy's Venom. I obviously don't. I mean, if you count actresses like Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat, would be pretty cool because that's my nice fan cast rumor. But like, don't even touch Madam Web in the MCU or Craven or
It's all
Morbius.
MCU, baby. It's
Don't
all
even
MCU.
touch them in the MCU.
What are you gonna do when Madam Web shows up as a feature on Disney Plus?
Oh God.
I'm just gonna hit it like hide from interest. I paid money
It
to
will.
see that movie. I don't even want to see it for free. Not even free. I like. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you do. You want to watch it again?
What if you click on it and like Disney gave you 20 credits and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Just give me 20 bucks.
I
Yeah,
just
just
open
for
up a new
Spider-Man.
tab. I open it up in a new tab. Play it no volume, black screen. Just that's it.
It's like my problem with it is that Venom, like the Sony Spider-Verse Venom, is whatever. I don't think it's a great Venom, but I don't think it's a bad one. Would it be cool to see them interact? Yes, but I also feel like Venom is at his best when he is a villain turned anti-hero, not anti-hero turned villain turned friend. That's not, I don't think that'll feel good. Like to force a conflict between like Tom Hardy and that Peter Parker. I don't know. I don't like it. Because at this point, there's no reason for them to.
Guys, what if they did Craven's Last Hunt of the Sonyverse?
Oh God. Before we even get like it. No. Let's not throw that out there.